Today at Manchester Theatres, it is my absolute pleasure to be here with co-head of theatre at Lowry, Matthew Eames. Now, Matthew has had quite the career, starting out singing at holiday camps. He went on to perform in the West End and around the globe. He has been a resident director, an associate director where he directed his own shows, worked in arts organisations, being a producer, a programmer, right back to here at Lowry. That is just the tip of the iceberg. So Matthew, thank you so much for joining us today. I know you're incredibly busy, there's a lot going on. So yeah, thank you very much.
Oh, thank you. Thanks for the introduction too. I wasn't expecting that.
Oh, you're very welcome. It's impressive. So we're here at Lowry in the gorgeous Quays Theatre where you are co-head of theatre. So there's two of you. There's yourself who does commissioning and contemporary,
Yep.
and then Steve who does operations. So
That's right.
What's the difference between the two roles?
Essentially, the two of us program everything that could be seen on our stages in the theatres, and we dovetail is the truth, and we've worked together a long time, so we have a very organic relationship where we sit across from a desk and we talk all day about the amazing shows that come to this building and come to Salford. But if we were going to really try and split what we do, then I might think about what we're going to do in the long term and why we do it. And Steve is very much the engine room and will make sure that financially all of these fantastic shows that sell lots of tickets are coming in, and that we can continue to run this building for the long term.
Yeah, we're in this gorgeous theatre, and this is just one of three. We say co-head of theatre, but you've got three spaces. We've got this one, the Quays, the Lyric, and the studio.
That's right, yeah.
So when you're bringing all of these different shows in, you're receiving or you're co-commissioning, is it kind of logisticals as to the size of the show as you decide what goes in what space, or how does that work?
Yeah, it's a bit of everything. So we don't think this is what happens in the studio theatre, this is what happens in the Quays theatre, etc. We do think this is a great show that fits what we want to do and fits what our audiences expect of us. And then sometimes it is just the practicalities of how many audience members do we expect, and what size theatre is it built for, and that's what determines which space it goes into. But some shows that we've had over the years, and particularly stand-ups, can expect we'll start off in the studio, and there will absolutely, sometimes there's been people that have gone through all three theatres in 1 year.
Yeah,
in a matter of months.
Wow. I suppose. And you do a lot of partnership work and collaboration work with companies such as Opera North, Rambert, the Dance Consortium, National Theatre. You've got Dear England coming, which I'm going to ask about in a moment.
Yeah.
But in terms of theatre, what does that mean to be in partnership or collaboration with a company?
So those big partner companies have been with us on this journey from the very, very beginning. And what it means is that they are, flagship companies that are known not just in England and the UK, but across the world. And we're very fortunate that we have those pillars in our programme. So every year we will expect to see a couple of visits from Opera North, National Theatre. So we'll talk about Dear England, Birmingham Royal Ballet, who'll be with us soon for Cinderella. So yes, and Rambert, of course. So yes, it means that we know every year, and our audiences know that they're going to see the very best theatre and dance right home in Salford.
Yeah, and what a programme you have. We've mentioned Dear England. This is a big deal, right? It's only been in the West End, and then this sort of terming it home and away. So you are the away, or we are the away here. So tell us about Dear England.
Well, Dear England, stems from a letter from Gareth Southgate and the story that he's written for England. He's not the manager anymore, but it's still ultimately it's a great story. In the same sense that War Horse is a great story, and people I think will enjoy the story that's created on stage, and the way it's staged is just absolutely wonderful. And yes, the strength of our relationship with National Theatre means, and we feel passionately here, what Steve and I share is very much that belief that, well, if it's good enough for the West End, we need to see it here. And and sometimes that means Lowry is the only place outside of London where something takes place, particularly with a show like Dear England in this case, and particularly with our dance programme too.
Yeah, I mean, it's so impressive. And the amount of plays as well, that's what I love. There's such a mixed programme. I mean, we've got Ghost Stories coming next week, Merchant of Venice, 1936. We've got Picture You Dead, Boys from the Black Stuff, and the return of The Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe at Christmas, which of course we had a couple of years ago. Is there anything in particular, without your work head on, but kind of your theatre lover head on, that you're looking forward to?
Yeah, I'm really excited to see Boys from the Black Stuff, actually, because it's a story that I watched later. I wasn't around for the original TV series, but I watched the kind of repeats, and James Graham has kind of adapted it, who also does Dear England and has done many plays here at the Lowry, so and with National Theatre and across the country, and also Sherwood, of course, on TV. So I'll be really interested to see how he's adapted that well-known TV series, and yeah, it's a great story. So, and seems apt that story of kind of people struggling, and we know what that's like, sadly, at the moment. So yeah, it feels like it's a good time to see that.
And it's really interesting when you get things done in different styles, and we can say that for the dance that you've got as well. I mean, you have such a mixed dance program here. The things that are coming up, you've got like Quadrophenia, the Mod Ballet, you've got Contemporary Korea. Couldn't be further apart, could they? And there's other things coming up as well, isn't there? Yes,
well, that is where we do have some help. So we have an associate programmer for dance who is based in London, Eckhard Tiemann, who does a wonderful job in curating this program. So it's not by accident that these companies are coming here. Lowry is well known internationally, and when they're looking at if they're going to present their work in the UK, in London, then we also, Eckhard makes sure that there's an opportunity for Salford, Greater Manchester audiences to see that work. And yes, we've got Contemporary Korea. This is the second consecutive season of Korean dance we've had in the recent years. We've got Gary Clark for the first time, a working class dance maker who's taking on Section 28 in his latest work. So yeah, I mean, the dance program's fantastic and really well supported too.
Yeah, it really is. And one of the other things that you do brilliantly at Lowry that I'm passionate about is theatre for young people. You're really bringing in a whole new generation of theatre goers and making it so accessible with the different shows. And there's a couple that you co-commissioned on, the Koala Who Could and a Squash and a Squeeze.
That's right.
Yeah, so tell us about those.
Well, it's not just tied to my own interests. I think my children have read these books, of course, and so you get to know these stories well. But ultimately, we can expect every half term, every Easter, every Christmas holiday, and every summer holiday that this particular theatre, the Quays Theatre, is absolutely jam-packed with children and their families. And in essence, we hope that we're secure in the future. We are saying we are starting them young, as they say, and these children are coming in to experience live theatre for the first time with a tale that they often will know. And yes, with Koala Who Could, the story of Kevin, who is nervous to take a chance on the world and doesn't want to leave his tree. We all can feel a bit Kevin sometimes. So that's a great story. Really looking forward to that in Easter as well. And we're working with Rose Kingston and lots of countries across lots of theatres across the country on that one. And in fact, I'm going to see it in London next week. So I'm really excited for that. And Squash and a Squeeze, working again with Little Angel, who helped us to do Charlie Cook's favourite book. Well-known Julia Donaldson title, We Know They're So Loved. Squash and a Squeeze is actually the first story that she did in collaboration with Axel Scheffler, and it's that tale of perhaps appreciating what you have sometimes. That's in this case the size of your house. So it's a great story. That's on over the summer holidays. There's lots of opportunity to see it. We're really excited for it.
They're so gorgeous, and what I love as well is I think they help adults as well, because they show how you can bring theatre to life at home with simple props and bits and pieces, and the way that the shows are done are just gorgeous.
They are.
And moving on to more adult shows, a lot of musicals that you've got coming. 4 whoppers, 6. I think you're like the official home for 6 by now. So you've got like 6, Chicago, Buddy, Blood Brothers. I mean, these are massive musicals that tour regular, yet always sell out, don't they?
They do, and our audiences, I mean, yes, 6 in this theatre, we
Yeah.
started out on a Christmas period when nobody knew really what it was or what it was going to be. I mean, it won another award, the What's on Stage an award in London for Best Musical last week. It's still a big part of people's lives. People feel really passionately about Six. And yeah, we never get tired of it. And it's great to have Chicago here. I think on our lyric stage, because it's such a strong dance show, or the Fosse movement, I think on our stripped back lyric stage, it's going to look absolutely wonderful. So even if you have seen it before, I'd say come and see it here. I think it'll look special.
I can't wait. And another thing for me personally that I cannot wait for, and I have to say I don't know who did it, but thank you. You've got a 2-week run in summer of someone who doesn't kind of fit any category. You've got a Darren Brown show. I mean, I'm so excited for that one.
Again, we've been fortunate to be a home for Darren in recent times. Sometimes he's began touring productions here, and Darren's a really special performer. Obviously, well known for people watching on TV or DVDs, but actually he is a true showman, and he takes tremendous care and attention over his shows, and it actually brings a whole new different audience to a theatre. Not just to Lowry. So it'll be it's always a good time. Everyone's very, there are certain things we have to do. No one's allowed in the theatre as they're kind of preparing the show, because obviously there's sensitive nature of all the tricks and how things are done. So can't wait.
I never even thought of it from that viewpoint, that even for you receiving a show, it's a completely different. Wow. It's exciting. And Lowry don't end there. They kind of, you have so many one-nighters and two-nighters. You have comedies, comedians, musicians. I'm coming to watch Jason Donovan in a couple of weeks. There's so much going on. Showstoppers, the improvised musical. You never seem to let the theatres go dark, do you? No,
I mean, ultimately, it's the story of this organisation. We have to work hard. We have to fill it all of the time. If we don't have if our theatres are dark, as we say, then they're not helping to keep the place alive and keep it going for the next 25 years. So it's really important to us. Our technicians don't always thank us for it, but it's important to us that we've got audiences coming in. And actually, some of those book events or the stand-up, they're people who like coming to the Lowry as much as those people who come to National Theatre or Birmingham Royal Ballet, and we are for them as much as anybody. So they'll continue to be a really big part of what we do.
And there's so much that we've spoken about, but I feel I haven't even scratched the surface yet. I mean, I'm not going to carry on because I know you're such a busy person, but there's so much more to go here at Lowry. You've got the galleries, you've got award-winning restaurants, cafes, shops, there's classes, there's community outreach, isn't there? There's so much going on all the time. It really is such a special place for people. So thank you for being a part of that, and thank you for everything that you do as well. As a theatre fan, thank you. And I know that there's lots out there as well. And I know you can't say anything just yet, but keep watching this space, because Lowry do have their 25th anniversary celebrations coming up. So I do believe a few more announcements might be made. Maybe?
Some big announcements to come. And again, we'll try and please everyone.
Thank you so much. It's been an absolute joy, Matthew, to start the week this way. It's been brilliant. So you can come along to Lowry. There is so many different things for you to do here. Brilliant shows. Why wait?